with me. Honestly, Stephanie is a fucking girl boss. You're done. Daddy, sorry. Oh, I just want to like lick his bones clean. Hi, Dan.
Hey, listen.
Hello and technically good morning. It is currently 12:22 in the morning of Thursday, 16th December. You probably can't see that. But today I thought I would film a little reading vlog because I haven't in a while and I just really feel like vlogging for some reason, just chatting to a camera about a book or anything undisclosed. Today's book we will be reading actually came from my unwrapping my December TBR video. You can go ahead and watch that if you'd like to. But this book I actually really wanted to read and I was searching for it for a very long time in that video, and that is Skulduggery by Derek Landy. This is a very special reading vlog for multiple reasons. Number one, I have wanted to read this for a little bit now because it is my partner's favourite book. He read it when he was little and I wanted to read it because he's recommended it to me, and it's very rare that I get recommendations, especially YA, that I have never read before, and this has really good reviews on Goodreads, and so I really wanted to give it a chance and read it because it's one of my partner's favourite books and I thought I'd read it for a reading vlog. So the first book in the Skulduggery series is just called Skulduggery. Apparently mind blown, I know. And we're basically following Stephanie, whose uncle has just died and he was like a really famous horror writer, and then when he dies she inherits all of his writings and earnings, I'm guessing. Pretty rich fucking child, let's just say that. But when inheriting her uncle's like writings and stuff, she realizes that this world he writes about is actually real and not fiction. So I'm really excited to delve into this. I'm very nervous actually. I have kind of been procrastinating making this video and also reading this book because it's very hyped up for me. And I don't know why, but for some reason, whenever I read like a 4 or 5 star book, the book that immediately follows afterwards is always like a 2-3 stars. I just read a 4 to 5 star book, which was the 5 by Hallie Ravenhill, by the way. Absolutely amazing, stunning, chef's kiss. So I'm really nervous that this is the book that is going to follow that. But I have faith still. I still have faith. I feel like I'm going to enjoy this. I really do. Yeah, so that's what we're going to be reading, and I will pick this vlog back up when I have read a couple chapters and kind of started to form some opinions on the characters or the story or anything like that. So I'll check back in when we've made some progress and I've gotten some sleep because I am so tired. I've done nothing all day and I'm still tired. Hello, I know that it's quite later in the day now, it's actually dark. It is currently about 6 PM. I am waiting for the Overwatch Christmas event to start. Just kind of sat here waiting, and I wanted to make some progress with my audiobook, but I thought I'd come and update you first before I make any more progress with it. So I am still reading Skulduggery, obviously. I am currently on chapter 10, page 121, and I am enjoying this so much. So I started this last night. I didn't think I'd actually start it, but I did just lay in bed and listen to the audiobook. Number one, there was this really weird soundscape that was so creepy, and it's happening every single time the chapters change, and I'm kind of living for it, honestly. It's making me really feel the book, and it's adding such atmosphere, and it's really well crafted. It's like really good quality as well. It makes me feel so creeped out. And let me tell you, when I predicted in my unwrapping my December TBR video that the aesthetic of this book would be kind of like Corpse Bride, I was 100% right. I'm getting Darren Shan vibes, Corpse Bride vibes. I'm loving it, basically. I can't believe that this book is for children. Genuinely, I can't, because it is so creepy. I've gotten to the part where Stephanie and Skulduggery have agreed to go on adventures together. Stephanie has inherited her uncle's, his property and his royalties of his book. His family, or their family rather, were really greedy, and they were all shocked to see that a 12-year-old has now inherited all of this money and wealth and property. Honestly, Stephanie is a fucking girl boss. She is a fucking girl boss. So much so that her parents just leave her in the mansion on her own during a storm. A 12-year-old and it's completely fine. Everything's fine, bestie. It is not fine. She is not fine. That is the part for me that was so scary. When that guy like puts his fist through the fucking... Oh my god, it was so fucking scary.
Me getting scared at a children's book that was published in 2007.
The audiobook narrator for this is just so good. Like, all of his different voices make it so creepy, and his voice as Skulduggery makes me fancy him a little bit. Just a tiny bit, I'm not gonna lie. Daddy, sorry. Daddy, sorry.
Interesting reaction.
I love the writing of this. I think that although it does come across as YA, it's kind of like peak YA. The writing is really good. Everything is making sense so far. I actually believe it, which is really good because I'm quite a sophisticated reader. So YA has to be pretty good for me to suspend my disbelief enough for the fact that it becomes believable, but I've done that pretty easy with this, which is great. Obviously there has been moments because it is a YA that I've had to put more of an effort into believing the story and the action, like Stephanie being left alone, for example. Overall, I'm having a really good time so far. I really like Stephanie's character. Although she is coming across a little bit as like a Mary Sue, I'm not saying that she is. She's coming across as like a 12-year-old but really powerful and can do no wrong, and I'm like, 12-year-old Mary Sue who? But I'm really enjoying the characters so far. I think they all have discernible personalities, which is really nice. I'm really interested in the story, captivated honestly, and that's all I really have to say. I'm really interested in seeing where this is going next. We are currently following Skulduggery and Stephanie, obviously, on their adventure, finding out who murdered her uncle. Turns out he was murdered, not just died mysteriously, and they're trying to figure out who is behind the murder. Now, usually I don't like murder plots. I don't like whodunit sort of thing, but this kind of has like that as a B plot, which I really enjoy. I really like Charina's character. I think it's really alluring, and I think it's really interesting that they've done it like that. And I can sense some sexual tension between her and Skulduggery that might come out in future books, or like, you know, it might happen. Oh my god, I literally shit them so bad, even though he's my dad.
Do I look?
I also have a theory that Skulduggery is secretly Stephanie's uncle and he never died in the first place. He just survived death instead. Am I right in thinking this? I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm really excited to see where the story goes next. There's like two stories that are going on. We've got the Gordon storyline with Stephanie and Skulduggery, and then the second one about like magical war. Magic system in this book doesn't feel too complicated, obviously, because it is YA. So maybe if you're new to fantasy, this sort of book might be for you because it's very easy to digest, but it is complex enough to keep your attention and to keep you guessing what comes next. I'm gonna listen to some of my audiobook, but wanted to update you before I made any more progress because I'm really enjoying this and it might even be a favourite of the year. Like, I love this so far. So good. Hello, it is now the 17th of December. I'm not sure if I've actually filmed today. I have had work, so I didn't really get time to update you this morning or anything. And I've also been reading more of Skulduggery throughout the day, so I thought I would wrap up when the day was over just because it made more sense in my head. So I am now on page 237 of Skulduggery. Bye then. I'm now on page 237 of Skulduggery Pleasant. I've actually read quite a lot of this now and I am still really enjoying myself. Again, this is a really good way of getting into fantasy if you're looking to it, because I feel like the magic system isn't too complex and I'm really enjoying myself. It's so digestible and the audiobook is like top notch. Again, I fancy Skulduggery a lot. I do. I'm not ashamed of this. I fancy him so bad. Stephanie has also now like picked a name for herself and she's actually now going by Valkyrie. I can't remember what her second name is, but her name is now Valkyrie, which I can't really see her as right now, but I'm hoping that changes. That's something I actually really like about this that I haven't really spoken about in this vlog, is the fact that names have so much meaning, and I absolutely loved Adeliru, which is like the same kind of like vibe. You know, names are literally everything to people and their identities, and that is coming across perfectly in this book, and I really enjoy that aspect. Also, what I haven't mentioned is when they're going to steal a certain, like, I think it's called the Memory Stone, there's vampires who, when they transform into vampires, they like peel their skin from their faces. Like, they just peel their hair, skin from their faces and become vampires. I was eating McDonald's when I read that part. I just looked at my food and was like, you're done. You're done. Disgusting. I've really actually enjoyed, speaking of the vampires and like other like beings in this world, how he's like taking these that may already have stories and representations in media in the past, and he's kind of like running with them and making them his own. According to Goodreads, I am like 65% of the way through this, so I'm really hoping that I'll be able to finish it tonight, or at best tomorrow. I think more tomorrow is an achievable goal because it is already 11 PM and I've been sat watching YouTube for a very long time. But realistically, I probably won't actually get to read any any more of this tonight, even though I really want to. I just have other things I want to get done. But this update is just kind of encompassing that I really am enjoying my time in Skulduggery. Although it does have flaws, it is by no means perfect, but I'm kind of able to look past its imperfections because I'm enjoying the story, its characters, its world so fucking much. Like, it is really objectively good, but I just have some things wrong with it. But I also don't mind. If that even makes any sense. Also, my partner, Dan, hello if you're watching, Dan. So I'm like Skulduggery then. I was like, hello if you're watching, Dan. What's wrong with me? Me and my partner had a conversation about my theory that Skulduggery was actually Stephanie's uncle, and although he said that it was a solid theory, he completely dismissed it and said that I was wrong. And I don't like to be wrong. So I'm gonna have to read all of this book and the rest of the series to find out why I'm wrong and if I'm actually wrong. There's not really much else to update on because I feel like when I get to climaxes or like the pre-climax, why am I saying climax so much? Climax. Me and your mom, me and your mom, me and your dad and your mom. I feel like when you get to like this particular bit in books, it's really hard to give like opinions and thoughts and just like updates because I don't really have any because nothing is going on and I don't want to spoil it, but it's just like action before the action, if that makes any sort of sense. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. As like ratings go so far, I think it's either going to be 4 or a 4.5, which is quite high because it does have flaws, but it has the potential for it to be like a very well-loved series for me. So I'll just like push past the flaws, you know? I just feel like it's worth it in my humble opinion. Skulduggery's voice in the audiobook alone is worth it. Like him as a character, oh, I just want to like lick his bones clean. I don't know why I said that. I think I need to make a therapy appointment. I will hopefully read the ending of this tomorrow before I go to work. But right now it is 11 o'clock and so I need to go to bed because I am tired from the day. I have been getting those pennies and working my butt off. So I think I need to go to bed. I'll be having sweet dreams about Mr. Skulduggery Pleasant. Why do I feel like this way about a man with bones? Just bones. I finished it. I'm so sorry this vlog has kind of been like all over the place. I haven't really given like my extensive thoughts throughout the video, which is kind of like the point, but I will kind of summarize in a little bit of an outro just to like let you know my full thoughts and my final rating. I also thought I would change location just because it seemed like I just stayed in my room for about 4 days, which isn't really true. Oh, take my bookmark out. We are finished, darling. We are finished. I have now finished Skulduggery Pleasant, and like I said during this vlog, I kind of didn't really like say any of my opinions. I just thirsted over a man who's just made of bones and kind of called Stephanie a girl boss, and that was kind of it. So the things I really liked about Skulduggery Pleasant was obviously the writing. I think I talked about the writing before this. I absolutely loved Derek Landy's writing style. I think he had a really nice flow. I did a small amount of research actually when I finished this book, and it turns out that Derek Landy actually wrote scripts before he wrote novels, and that definitely comes across in the way that he writes scene descriptions and also dialogue as well. The dialogue between characters always served a purpose, and even though there was a lot of it, it seemed like the dialogue was really thought out, which I can't really say the same for most YA novels. Sometimes the dialogue is just used for either exposition, which this was kind of a little bit. Either that or there's just no point in having dialogue and no one actually speaks like that. But the dialogue between the characters was really interesting, realistic, and helped build the bonds between the characters. Speaking of, one thing I didn't actually mention in my vlog of this was how fucking funny this was because of how witty Derek Landy's writing style is, but also the interactions between the characters. Not only does the dialogue kind of like build upon the characters' already established bonds, it also makes them closer together and just makes their interactions feel real. Of course, I absolutely love Skulduggery Pleasant. This is just not a secret to anybody. Stephanie I found quite hard to like at first, but she grew on me, I'm not gonna lie. She kind of reminded me of Ophelia from Pan's Labyrinth, which is probably why I liked her so much, because she just didn't really care about authority. She did her own thing and she's very strong-willed. I've seen a lot of other people talk about this when reviewing this book, but it was really nice to see that Stephanie actually cared for her parents, and every time she like slung herself into battle, she was always thinking about her parents and what they would think of it, and it was really nice to see a protagonist in YA to actually care about the people's feelings, not just be wrapped up in their own mind. I do feel as though she was quite childish at times, but that isn't to her detriment. I think that this made her character very interesting, and when Skulduggery asked her to do something like really scary and treacherous, she's like, but I don't wanna. Having actual like childlike responses rather than being written from a perspective of what Derek Landy thinks children think like. Thirdly, I also really liked the messages underneath this book and how it's always really important to know who you are and stick to your gun. The character's identity in this book is really important to them, and that comes across in many ways, but also the subtext underneath the book. And I just really enjoyed this and its messages, its characters, its writing, everything was just amazing. However, it does have some flaws, and as I said in the vlog, I was able to actually overlook these, and so I decided to give it 4 stars overall. As much as I love the characters like Stephanie, Skulduggery, I do feel as though that we could have had a little bit more attention go towards the side characters, because I feel like they were a little bit neglected, but we might get some other books in the series that have potential for their development. It would have been nice to spend some time with them because they seemed really interesting, especially China and Ghastly. I found the 2 of them particularly really interesting, and there wasn't a lot of page time for either of them. It was just Skulduggery and Stephanie, but I understand how this is like a first book in a series and that was what needed to be done and that's what was important. It would have just been nice. And of course, like I've already mentioned throughout this vlog already, the dialogue I didn't really like when it was used for exposition, but again, it's a children's book, so that's forgivable. And also, a lot of the plot does happen by coincidence and it's obviously predictable, but I can kind of recognise that I am not this primary audience's demographic. I'm not the target demographic at all. Landy didn't write this with me specifically in mind. He wrote it with impressionable teenagers in mind, and that is just not who I am. So I can still enjoy this and say it's objectively good, but maybe not to my reading taste, because I'm quite sophisticated in my reading and I'm a mature reader. So yeah, always keep that in mind when going into YA, and don't just say, oh, it was coincidence and I predicted the whole thing, because it's not actually made for you. When reading the Goodreads reviews of this, I found a lot of people saying that, and I just felt like it was so unfair to the writer and the story to just dismiss it as a YA book that you couldn't understand or that you were too smart for. This book is not made for you. You can still enjoy it and you can still read it, but these spaces and these books aren't for us. We're just kind of like intruding on that because we like the story or we got nostalgia, whatever. These books can still be enjoyed by multiple different audiences, but you're not the primary audience, so why would he write catering to you? But yeah, I'm really excited that I got the chance to read this and vlog this. It was one of my partner's favourite books, and I'm so glad I read it and I enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars, and I've officially broken the curse of reading a 4 5-star book and then immediately reading a 2 to 3 star one, because this one did not disappoint me at all. This has kind of really inspired me to make a series on my channel called Blank for Beginners, where I just basically take each genre and will give you maybe like 5 or so recommendations to get you into the genre. And I definitely think this is one for fantasy, because it's not necessarily high fantasy, but there is fantastical elements and it's not complicated, just enough to make you interested. Although we have seen this kind of magic system before, it's not necessarily not unique, because Derek Landy takes so many different monsters, magic systems, character archetypes, and just makes them his own. And I think that's what makes Skulduggery Pleasant so special. Thank you so much for watching this vlog. I really hope that you enjoyed it. I'm sorry it was a bit sporadic and all over the place, but you know, it's me. Can't really help it. I really hope to do some more reading vlogs in the future, so if you did enjoy this one, let me know by giving this video a massive thumbs up, and my channel a subscribe for more bookish content. This is actually going to be my last video I'm going to be posting before Christmas, so I hope anyone who celebrates has an amazing holiday season. If you don't celebrate, I still hope that you have an amazing festive season full of rest and good food and good music, and I hope you still feel incredibly loved. Yeah, I hope you have an amazing time at Christmas. I'll be back before the new year to do my end of year like wrap-up content, and I shall see you then. But until then, I hope you enjoy the books you pick up, and outros are hard and I don't really know what else to say. Goodbye. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.